Okay.
I see Memphis in the house. Hello, how are you? Everybody tell me what city and state you're coming from, please, as we get started this evening. Hello, Dale.
Hello.
How you
Hello.
doing today?
Good.
And Mrs. Dale, right?
I'm
Mrs. Bryant.
I miss I
Dacia.
miss
Mrs. Bryant.
I'm Mr. Dacia.
Hope we all are doing well. Everybody, don't forget to put your city and state in the chat. We are officially live streaming on our social channels. Just need to get this all set up, and the wonderful Tawana is in the house
Hello, hello.
officially.
Hi, Tawana.
And I will say that next week is it next week or the following week? Oh, the following week is Labor Day, but we will be doing a special session, everybody. So we'll be here on Labor Day. If you want to join us, you are more than welcome to do so. Y'all know we don't stop over here at the 10K Project. We keep it moving. And then later on that evening, we're going to be featured on Black Wealth Renaissance's Instagram page on Labor Day. So we will be laboring a lot on Labor Day. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Hello, everybody. So I see here we've got Atlanta, Chicago, DMV, California, Neptune, New Jersey, New York. Everybody, don't forget to put your city and state in the chat so we can recognize you. And we are going to hop right into it because we have a lot to talk about. So actually, let me hit the record button again and say welcome officially to the 10K Project. We're the largest community of small dollar investors. We actively fund Black-owned businesses. So if 10,000 of us came together, we put in small amounts of money, we could raise $1 million and more for our businesses. We don't have to go and beg others to fund our businesses. And when we fund our businesses and we have strong, financially strong businesses, we can start hiring more people. We can profit from our own innovation because these are investments, meaning that you could potentially have a return on your investment if the company does well. We can create Black wealth. I'm forgetting one, Tawana. All of a sudden, I had a long day, everybody. So anyway, I am Cherie. This is Tawana in the white here, and we are the co-founders of the organization. This crazy idea came up because I am a business plan writer and been one for a decade. And I would have so many people come to me wanting to raise capital for their businesses, and uh, people from other ethnicities would be able to take my business plans and raise $600,000 in a night, sitting at a dinner table or in a small group. And I've witnessed this personally, but people from our community were not able to do that. They didn't have people who could stroke $25,000 checks, $50,000 checks, $100,000 checks easily. But we saw the emergence of We Buy Black and people wanting to actively buy Black. And we started asking, if we're buying Black, maybe we would invest Black as well. So, like Tawana says, we marry the two groups of people together, people who have great ideas, entrepreneurs who have great ideas, and they are looking for funding. And the funding is done through Regulation CF, which stands for crowdfunding. It is governed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and FINRA, Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. I think I said that right. But it is government regulated the way that the entrepreneurs raise money. And then the other group of people we bring to the table are people who have $100, $200. They come to a pitch every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And if you know, we get a chance to hear the entrepreneur. They tell us about their business, what they're doing, how big the marketplace is, what their vision is for the company. And we get an opportunity to ask them questions. And then each individual entrepreneur gets the opportunity to potentially invest in that business. So we don't do groupthink here. We're not a fund. Instead, each investor gets to review the SEC documents, review the campaign, listen to that presentation, ask their questions, and then you as an individual investor gets to decide if you want to invest in that business. So, and then the third group of people we bring in are the service providers, because these entrepreneurs are raising money. They're going to be looking for people to hire, both full-time, part-time employees, you know, CPAs, graphic designers, all sorts of independent contractors. How do we get the money circulating more in the community? This is how we do it, by having those three groups of people come together under one umbrella. That is the 10K project. So I see Tampa here. I see Wharton, New Jersey, dialing in from California. So hello to everybody. Hello. So Tawnya, we want to definitely talk about Family and Friend Day a little bit, but before we do that, why don't you introduce yourself and let anybody know what I missed?
You covered it all. You did a wonderful job of covering it all. My name is Tawnya Rivers. I am the Chief Operating Officer here at the 10K Project. Cherie and I, as she stated, founded the organization, and we're super excited about it. And today's session, in addition to telling you about who we are, it's really all about the community. We have such amazing members. I always talk about the amazing founders we bring, but we have such amazing members within the community that are doing great things as well. And it may not be regulation crowdfunding, but it's still, they're awesome projects that they're working on. And so we decided to highlight our members. And we want to do that on a regular basis because this community is your community. And so, as we're learning about investing and bringing investment opportunities, and as we're highlighting the founders and the entrepreneurs and giving them resources to help grow and fund the business, we're still a community of people who desire to learn and to network. And that's really what, I don't want that to be lost in all the other things that we're doing, because that is truly the foundation of why we are what we are. We are the crowd for these funds or for these businesses, but we're more than that. We're a community, all right? And so we have to nurture each other and ourselves if we're going to do any good for the businesses that we help and invest in. So that's kind of what tonight is about. We brought some amazing community members to talk to us today about what they're doing. But Cherie, you want to cover family and friends first before we jump in?
Yeah, sorry, I had myself on mute. So I also want to say that this is Tawanya's baby. Tonight is Tawanya's baby. She's like, let's highlight our members. And I said, you're absolutely right, because every time we put a call out for, hey, we need an expert in X, somebody always raises their hand and says, I do that. So what we wanted to do was to highlight you as members. We are going to be doing this once a month. So if you want to be our September member highlight, you can. You don't have to be raising money at all. It could be a nonprofit that you're working on. It could be something that you're super passionate about that you think the community would enjoy. You can email me info@the10kproject.com. You must be a member to be a member highlight though. So that's the only thing. And
But
it
we
needs to
can
be
tell you how to become a member. That's easy.
yeah, but you can become a member, $100, lifetime membership, the10kproject.com. Okay. Family and Friend Day. So how many of you, put a 1 in the chat if you grew up in the Baptist church, the AME church, any church that had Family and Friend Day? Yes, okay. See all the ones here. So we decided to host a Family and Friend Day at the 10K Project. It will be on Monday, September 13th. And we're going to have games, prizes. We are asking you to invite your family and friends. We are fleshing out some of the details. We'll be able to talk about those next week with regards to how you can post, and people, whomever posts like a certain amount gets put into a raffle. And, we're going to have, like I said, prizes and things like that. The reason that we're doing this is because we want to grow and expand the 10K project. And when Tawnya and I and our other person, Audrey, looked at where we're getting our new members from, the majority of places are family and friends. People are saying, I found out about this from a family member or a friend. So that's why instead of giving these other platforms a whole bunch of money, we'd rather pour it back into the community and see if we can double our size through everybody bringing 1 or 2 people. So that is Family and Friend Day. So you could officially mark it September 13th. The guests for today September 13th are picking up where Tawnya and I dropped off. That's all I'm going to say. So you definitely want to come to hear
I love
these
Dale's
two
face
gentlemen.
just now. Dale's face was like, riddle me this.
It's a riddle, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to really like the guests that we have for September 13th, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely you want to be in the building for that one. So yes, Tawnya, anything else before we
I'll just say
talking?
one thing about family and friends. The thing we know to be true is that we have successfully raised quite a bit of money for the founders that we brought to pitch. And we just keep saying how much more we could do for them if we had more members. The concept is simple, right? But if we had more members, how much more we can do. I mean, I'm waking up on Wednesday morning after a pitch and founders are raising like $25,000 just overnight. Imagine if we had couple of hundred people watching instead of, normally the 97 to 120 people we kind of have every Tuesday watching. Imagine if that size doubled, what we could wake up to, or what that founder could wake up to. I'm as excited as the founder because that means successfully we're helping get them the capital that they need. But of course, for them, they're super excited because they're getting the capital that they need. And we just keep saying, if we could just grow our numbers, what impact we could make. I mean, it's endless. And so that's really what the membership drive is about. And as you guys know who are members, we added a membership tier where we added in 6 months of financial planning. We partnered with Freeman Capital. They are a Black-owned financial planning company or firm. And we partnered with them and they gave us 6 months of financial planning. If you are not currently a member, that package is $347. If you are a member, that package is only $247 because you would have already paid your $100 membership for the lifetime. And we had one of our members who actually purchased the upgrade had just had a session before we dropped that package with a financial planner, and he wanted to charge her $4,000 for half the time. And so when we dropped ours, she was like, oh, wow, this is a no-brainer. So, we're really trying to enhance the services and the benefits to membership, and that financial planning package is awesome. So that's something that we're doing to encourage membership. And then also the Family and Friend Day is something else that we want to do. And if you guys, have any ideas on what else we could do, we welcome all ideas. We know this model works. It's been proven. We'll talk a little bit about that, how we just recently, this model was proven. There's it's called the Black History Museum. They have a Indiegogo campaign right now. as of last week, I haven't looked at it this week yet, but as of last week, they had over 10,000 donations, because this is Indiegogo, right? So it's just rewards. It's not equity, right? So no ownership. This is just out of the kindness of my heart, right? And I get membership, or a free ticket to entry when they build it. They have over 10,000 donations. The average is about $100 because they've raised a little over $1 million. It's the 10K project model. I mean, if 10,000 of us got together and gave just $100, we could fund a founder. And so they've proven it. We know this works. We've just got to build up the network so that this becomes the place that founders come to get the capital they need, and we get equity, right? So it's not just the kindness of my heart or a ticket, it's actually ownership in something that could do big things, could go public, could be sold for billions of dollars, all of the exit strategies that are possible. So we know this model works. When we talk about this model, people are excited about it, as excited as we are. We just have to get the members so that this becomes a no-brainer, right? When I'm raising money, I'm calling the 10K project. They don't have to call me. I'm calling them first, right? So that's what this is about. So please share this. If you're new here, we hope you enjoyed tonight's conversation where we highlight our community members. Please check us out on other sessions. If you're interested in joining, $100 gets you a lifetime membership. We won't ask you for any other money. I mean, that's just the commitment we made to this community. And then, come check out one of the Bet on Black pitches where you can really see the work that we're doing. This has turned into the largest arm of the organization. The education and all that stuff that we thought was going to be the magic, these pitches have really become the magic. I mean, they really have. And so I'm really proud of us, and I'm proud of all the founders that we bring through. We've been able to talk to some amazing talent. I tell you, the Black girl and Black boy magic is not a myth. That's real talk. We are amazing, and we're bringing some of these people in front of you to potentially invest in. So with that said, I'm going to be quiet. We're going to introduce our guests for this evening.
Yes.
You can take it away.
Okay, and I hear a little bit of reverberation background. So, Tawnya, if you can mute for me,
we'll do.
please.
I'll mute.
Okay, then. So let us, first of all, if you are in YouTube or Facebook, please give us a like so that way this can get out to more people, and please share as well if you are on those social platforms. Okay, so let us talk to a couple of our members. The first person is a movie producer. She may name drop tonight. We'll see with how much she wants to put out there, but she knows some pretty impressive people. She has written a play and produced it. She has done all sorts of stuff in the entertainment sphere. And she actually has a new movie project that she is raising capital for. It is donation, right? Rewards.
Yes.
It's rewards. So that's why she's not doing an official Bet on Black pitch. But we wanted to introduce her to you because she's working on some stuff on the inside of our team, and because she is just a super cool person. So everybody put a 2 in the chat to say hello to Monique Lisa. Hello.
Hello.
And I want to say Monique is a founding member as well.
She is.
One of the first.
Awesome. Thank you. That's right. Within the first 1,000, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. First 1,000.
Right.
Yes. Why don't you take like 5 minutes and tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your project?
Awesome. Well, anything over a certain amount is an ROI. So that's the one thing that I didn't get a chance. So if you want to revisit that, over a certain, I don't have the number, but over a certain amount, yes, there is an ROI. My name is Monique Lisa. I'm a writer, director, and producer of stage, film, and books. I'm a 40-time nominated playwright and a 21-time awarded writer. And I have sold out the world famous Apollo Theater 5 times single-handedly as an independent playwright. And I have worked with everyone: Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier, Debbie Allen, Gregory Hines' brother Maurice Hines. I've been in a ton of movies, and I've been doing this since the age of 7. For me, I stayed independent because I love the idea of you do the work, you get the reward, as opposed to giving it away. And the project that I'm really excited about that we're doing is actually looking around. It's a secret fundraiser for the founder of this project. So we're on the new app Clubhouse. And within 4 months of just working with people and talking to them, we have over 10,000 members. And they're excited about this. So what we're doing is we're working on a project to break J.K. Rowling's record of selling 8.3 million books in a 24-hour period. So we're doing a docu-movie journaling our path to breaking her record of for us to sell 10 million books in a 24-hour period. So it's called Goliath and the Dreamer. And we're pretty much working with people in about 13 countries to do this. So I thought it would be great to have the 10K Project work with us for the tiers that are the lower tiers. Just if someone says, hey, I just want to have my name at a movie credit, I want to be in a movie and I want to have, well, not be in it, but we are looking for people to be in it specifically for specific donations. But what we're doing is we're really just getting everyone together to show that we can break this record. We're documenting it. We have our own Dr. George C. Frazier. He will be featured in the docu-movie, and we have quite a few people. I can't name them now, but I'm excited because this is the community coming together saying, yes, we want to break this record. We want to do this documentary journey. Those are tongue twisters, ladies. I tell you, those are some tongue twisters, and I'm fighting with it. But we started on July 5th officially doing this secret campaign, and so far we're about 25,000 in. So this is with small increments. So kudos to all the people that said, yes, I want to be a part of it. And then we have people that are over 50K, over 100K that we're massaging those relationships to get them on board. But we have just really worked hard to get the vision out there. And so that's why I'm here, because I absolutely love the 10K Project. From the time I heard about it, I look at the producers that took their own money, anywhere from $100,000 up to $4 million, and cleared over 100 million within the first weekend. So I know the power of film. And those of you who love film, you understand that. And I know what it's like to put a project together for $1,500 and get into 3-4 film festivals and make quite a bit of money. So that is definitely my lane. I work with authors, I work with writers, I work with producers, but stage and film, that's my baby. So I'm excited about that, definitely.
And Monique, you have a course out there as well. Don't you
Yes,
have a course
I do.
available? I know you're here to talk about the movie, but
Yes. Last year was different for all of us. And I decided to put my 30 plus, years of experience into a course, and it's called the Extreme Killer 3D Writing Course. So I help you to create your characters in 3 dimensions. So if you are a writer, you're an author, you're someone who wants to do stage plays, I help you not to just create characters that are flat, but really 3-dimensional, become a composite of all of the different people that you meet. So you learn how to really create in a space where you're now allowed to have indelible, hard to get out of your memory. When you think about a Medea, very hard to get out of your memory, that type of a character, but you can use it for any genre, any platform. So Extreme Killer 3D Writing Course, I created that. I have a 4-week and I have an 8-week, and they both are something where if you're serious about writing, it's a great place to start. It's an investment, but it's a great place to start. Great place. And thank you for asking me about that. Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, so it's amazing what you're doing, first of all. And I actually put Monique's website link into the chat here so that everyone is able to go and check that out and, do your own research. But if you feel compelled to support her, I'm sure she would love and appreciate that. So the other thing that I think is interesting is how you talked about the return on investment. And we know that Black movies tend to have some of the greatest returns, yet they're still so underfunded. And people in Hollywood still don't believe in Black creators, which is weird because if you're looking at the numbers, it seems like you would go more for someone like you versus someone else, right?
Right.
And I parallel that to what we're doing at the 10K project, where these venture capitalists still don't believe in our entrepreneurs. And what I'm trying to say to everybody here and everyone that we speak with is this is our time to prove them wrong and profit in the process, because there will come a day when there are enough Black entrepreneurs who make it, and these VCs are going to come flying in, just like
Yes.
Hollywood is flying in now because there's Shonda Rhimes, there's Tyler Perry, there's enough of us in Hollywood where, yeah, we still have a long way to go,
Right.
but these people are starting to get picked up. And what I want to see us do is profit on it while we're still kind of underground.
This
So
is true.
Monique and
This is
even
true.
Dale and Tawana, I'll put myself on mute. I'd love to hear from all three of you with regards to that.
Well, I know for me, I look at what we've done. You take a Nate Parker who took 8 years to raise the money, $100,000 to do his movie. And the movie was so powerful that Lionsgate was willing to pay $15 million to shelf it. But 8 years to raise $100,000 when you ladies, your company, you did that in less time. But him as an actor, pretty well-known actor, it took him 8 years and he did a phenomenal job with his movie. And then I look at a Jordan Peele who no one would finance his movie, and he took 4.5 million of his own money and made over 100 million in the first weekend. And then I look at other people. There was a movie out with Vivica Fox, and it made $1.76 million, but it still outsold every movie because it had higher ticket sales during the first weekend. So a lot of times what happens is we just have to keep proving ourselves over and over and over. And the proof is in the pudding. We talk about a Black Panther. Black Panther had a $200 million budget, but in 23 days, it made $1.6 billion for Disney, not for us. We supported it, but we didn't make that money. And so it is a lot more difficult. The risks are higher, but we have proven ourselves over and over again. I know what I've done. I pretty much made sure that I used my own money. I've always used my own money, but I know that when you bring the village, the tribe, and the community in, then we can go a lot further. But it's really all about what is it that we're willing to invest in that's going to bring us return. We always go to the movies. We always go. We know the story about The Matrix, how the script was shared. And once it was shared, they took it and made it their own. Look at the proceeds from all those movies. And it's a trilogy. So I definitely know the numbers. I know what we can do, but sometimes we sleep on each other. And as a community, we really need to wake up. We really do. Really do.
Yeah, Dale or Tawana, either one of you can respond to that.
I have a question, Monique, that's in conflict. I have two questions that are in conflict.
Sure.
Number one, whenever I'm listening to industry insiders, they're saying that it's never been a better time to be a creator. People who can create content, I'm hearing, can write their own ticket. There's so many new outlets. Netflix is writing checks to everyone, et cetera.
Yes.
So the first question is, are you feeling that? And then the second question is, do you feel that your product is a tougher raise than someone who's raising money for a widget or something else that you can touch? So those are my two questions.
So for the first question, yes, it's gotten a lot easier. Now you can just film a trailer, a proof of content. You can film maybe 5 to 10 minutes and then present that. But that's for people who want to sell their work. If you think about it, if I can raise the capital, I can work out a distribution deal, and I can get the theater or the streaming platform, why would I sell it to someone? When I can get 100% of the proceeds and I'm not locked into a contract that may or may not work for me. Will we pursue a Netflix? Of course, but are we locked into whether they give us a deal or not? No. because there are tons of streaming platforms. And you see that after the lockdown, there's so many independent streaming platforms that'll do a deal with you. So I definitely don't feel as though I have to be concerned too much about it, but you can get in through the back door with a proof of content trailer. You can. Now, as far as a raise is concerned, people love movies. You just have to find the right people. You have to find enough no's to stack them up to get to the closer next yes. And that's really, it's with that with everything. I mean, there are tons of people. There are people who turn down so many inventions that we use today, but it just, if it doesn't make sense to Paul, it may make sense to Peter. So I don't think it's more difficult. You just have to find the right people. You have to find the right people, you know, and that's what I've done. I worked with people, there were people who gave $5 and that was a lot for them. But this is what I have, this is what I'll give, keep me posted on what's going. Just got to find the right people. And that's for any project. When I heard about the 10K project, I didn't care what it was. It said 10, it said K, and it said Black. I was in. And that was it. And I shared it with everyone. Because why? We give first to everyone else and not to us. And then we reason why we don't give. And we never reason why we don't give, why we give to everyone else, only to us. So I'm definitely, and I look at Issa Rae. Issa Rae started on YouTube. Our content on YouTube allows them to find advertisers that pay them for the content we give them for free. But thank goodness Issa Rae was smart enough after she was able to level up to getting on a network that she didn't have to give away her content for free. But it took her years of giving away free entertainment and content. And right now I work with one of the top Black Hollywood stunt woman. And with her, she has over 400 movies under her belt. She can get a deal with anyone. And she makes sure she works with us. Why? Because she knows how hard it was when she started. So any project I do, she's a part of it. And everyone calls her. I'm talking to Viola Davis. I'm talking to Issa Rae, Robin Thede. So my thing is, if you're for us, really be for us. If I have to prove to you that this is good, and then after I jump through those hoops, you still say, nah, then it really wasn't, it really wasn't for us. So I'm all for us because we need each other. We act like we don't, but we really do need each other. So I'm all about, and this journey to breaking this record is really about an unknown author taking a chance, going up against a giant who had the school system, who had the fourth installment of their book. Because we're going up against J.K. Rowling. That's huge. That's newsworthy already because we have the audacity to want to do that. So right there, that's like us cheering for the underdog. Like, oh man, I'm rooting for him. He can really do this. So that's why it's so exciting for me, because I know that I've done things. I don't know any independent playwrights that have sold out the Apollo Theater 5 times, 4 in the same year. I don't know any. Why? Because I had the audacity to say, well, if I do it, I do it. If I don't, but if I don't try, I'll never know. If I do not try, I will never know. So definitely, if someone wants to support a widget, I say support that widget and then still support what I'm doing.
Yeah. Tawnya, did you want to jump in?
No, I think that was wonderful. I love Dale's questions. You want to introduce Dale and his wife and talk a little bit about what they're doing?
Absolutely. So, and we have Sandra here saying, sign me up, people saying holla and preach. People absolutely agree with you. And, awesome. I couldn't have said it any better. So I'm probably going to take the snippet of this and post it up by itself.
I just want to say one more thing, Cherie.
Yes.
I have gotten the rights to do some very, very important people. I've gotten the rights to do their stories. So those are the things coming down the pike. And that's why I'm like, let me get this out. Let us do this. And I can't say who they are, but that was definitely a blessing for someone to say, no, I want you to do this story. I want you to do this. So I have 2 stories that I get to do next that I'm so excited about.
Fantastic. I do want to put a pin in something that you said, and it is about the fact that we need each other. So Tawnya and I have had several conversations behind the scenes with regards to this. We see so much negative press, and the voices on social media that are amplified are not the ones that I think are most prevalent in our our demographic, within Black America. So I think that it is, now I don't think that everybody can work with us, right? I'm not that naive. However, I do see Black people working together all the time. And one of the things that I want to do is, and I've had people say to me with the 10K project, Black people can't work together. I don't know why you want to do that. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot. And I'm just like, no, I believe we can find 100,000, 500,000, million Black people who can come together under one accord and do this. And when you were talking about that, Monique, that's just one of the things even that I fight against is people saying, I don't believe it. I don't believe that, Black people can work together.
But I agree with that to a degree. And let me say why. Harriet Tubman said that she could have rescued more people if they knew they were slaves. She could have rescued more, but if they turned back, guess what? She shot them. If they turned back, because she knew that they would ultimately get her killed.
Yes.
And so I look at it this way. If you go to a Chinese restaurant and the food is not good, you don't stop eating Chinese food. You just go to another restaurant. If you work with someone and they don't do good business, you just go work with someone else, find someone else. You don't stop working with people who look like you because someone did bad business. Everyone does bad business. They're every nationality, every race, every color, there's someone doing bad business. So just go to someone else. Say, hey, it didn't work out with X, Y, and Z. Let me find someone else. But I know people who look like us that would never work with us. And they say, oh, same thing. Oh, we just don't. Well, teach them. Help them. You have entrepreneurs and not entrepreneurs. They don't know any better. Teach them.
Right.
Help them. If you don't help them and you just look down upon them, you're not helping the situation. You're just adding to the downfall of it.
I agree.
So I don't want to take up too much time, but thank you. I appreciate you, ladies.
Well, thank you so much, Monique. Everybody, again, thank Monique. Put a 3 in the chat to say thank you to Monique, and we're going to bring up Dale. So with Dale, we have all heard of FICO score, right? That tells the financial health, your financial credit, things like that. Well, Dale has come up with the HICO score, which is your health score. So with that, I'm going to bring Dale to the table or to the forefront here. 5 minutes, tell us what you're doing and, about HICO and all of that stuff.
Well, thanks for having us.
Introduce your wife, Dale. Introduce your wife to us as well.
How's our sound? How's our sound?
We can hear you.
Okay. So my name is Dale. I'm co-founder of HICO Health. This is my wife, Dacia.
Hello.
The founder. Dacia is a pharmacist, a diabetes specialist, runs outpatient pharmacy for the largest public system here in the state. And she came up with an idea a couple of years ago to service overlooked, underserviced, and more times than not marginalized Black populations suffering from type 2 diabetes. And so the HICO health score is it's a small part of our company. And Dacia is the clinician and I'm the mouth of the company. Dacia is very humble. So I talk for me, for her, and then for her again. But what we have is a mobile-first digital health product where patients learn how to self-manage their disease, become better patients, coordinate their care teams better, and adopt, practice, and normalize healthier behaviors. And we work with community healthcare professionals like primary care doctors, endos, also churches, community health centers, other advocacy groups. And those are our clients, and they integrate our health apps to assist them in taking care of their patient populations more efficiently, bigger, better, faster. Because what typically happens is, just in a normal healthcare engagement, you go into a doctor's visit, they got 20 minutes, they might give you a couple of minutes of eye contact, and they tell you exercise more, eat better, see you in 3 months. And so that leaves a patient unsupported outside of the doctor's office. And so our service supports that patient through mobile. So that's just a little bit about what we have.
I'll just add to that. When I became a diabetes educator quite a few years ago, I realized that there weren't apps talking to our population. All of the apps were really catered to, type 1 diabetes, which was young populations, non-Black populations. And I really wanted something that could speak to my mother or my aunts. And, we were kind of overlooked in, I think, in the technology space, that we really couldn't adopt technology or even master it or understand it. So we created a technology that can be followed and easily understood. And it really does not take, a lot of knowledge to really maneuver throughout the app. So that was really the premise of starting the company as well, was to be able to serve more patients remotely, see what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, communicate with them through texting, through phone calls, through our videos, which if you look at our videos are all Black. At one point I was shying away from, no, we can't really be all Black because we want to be inclusive of everyone. But after a while, I realized that I really wanted to focus on, it was really the Black woman at first. It's also the Black man, but I felt the Black woman is really the head of the house, the one who buys the food, the one who, takes the kids to church, the all-encompassing head of the house. And I wanted that to be sort of the target of the company as well. As Dale said, he is the mouthpiece. He talks a lot. I really don't talk a lot because at work I have to talk way too much. So at home, I just kind of get really quiet, but feeling, comfortable in this space, I'm able to, share a little bit more than I normally probably would have. So thank you.
I'm so glad you feel comfortable too. Yeah, this is a safe space for you. Sandra, excuse me, is asking if you're a mobile EMR. What does EMR stand for, first of all? And then are you a mobile EMR?
Electronic medical records, I think, is EMR.
Right.
Yeah, I knew what it meant, but I figured for everybody else.
Yeah, no, an EMR sits inside of a provider's office to document the healthcare meeting, and some would say it was designed solely to bill and make money, but that's a whole different story. But Sandra, this is a mobile app for patients to use and providers to monitor those patients in real time. And in our mobile apps, a patient will enroll in a virtual class that covers 4 disease states: prediabetes, diabetes, hypertension, and obesity. Unfortunately, many of our people suffer from 2 to 3 of those things at any given time. That's just the truth. And so our app is a place where patients can see evidence-based nutritional instruction, behavioral change, and culturally relatable health literacy, all delivered through the app, all delivered in this virtual class where there's a provider who can see everything that you're doing and can support you when you need the support.
So I'll add to that, there's a dashboard that the providers can go into. So the provider can go into their dashboard, see all of their patients, and can see what those patients are doing throughout the day, throughout the week, look at their blood sugar readings, blood pressure. So there is a place, it's not an EMR, but there is a place that the provider can go to add their own notes, to text the patient back and forth. So it's sort of like just between the app and the dashboard, but not connected to a medical, an EMR system.
Perfect. Someone else, excuse me, Charlotte is asking if you can show the app tonight.
Not on this setup. This is our living room setup.
Okay.
But Charlotte, if you email us, I can do a personal demo for you anytime this week.
Ooh.
Or for that matter, anybody who wants a personal
Anybody.
demo.
Yeah. So I think if people want to see a demo, maybe everyone contacts them and y'all get together and do a group.
Yeah,
That way they could do
absolutely.
it all
Yeah.
at once. And hopefully you guys will have the demo on your website too. Or if there's one on a YouTube page or a website or something like that,
That
you can
might
let
be a
us
better
know.
idea than having everybody reach out to you,
Yeah.
Dale.
Yeah.
No,
Because remember, this will
because
play on repeat and replay.
no, I prefer to do personal or demo group demos because there are
Competitors.
they're sniffing around all the
Oh,
time.
you
They
know
wanna
what? We
see what-
completely understand.
wanna see
And
what
we
the
will
sauce
say
is.
this, just a suggestion, you may want to have people have their cameras on for the demos then, if you want to really know who's coming in. Yeah,
Yeah.
when Tawana and I and the other people started 10K Project, we started with these focus groups, and that was one of our requirements. The camera had to be on, so we knew who you were. So I don't know. I feel like that got rid of some people who, were just coming to be nosy. So so
I
yeah.
want to go back.
I'm sorry.
Go
How do
ahead.
people get your email? Tell everyone your email if they
So
want to.
info@hico.health, HICO.health. And I'll
Perfect.
put it in the thing, the chat box too.
I think it's interesting when you were talking about, wanting to have the content, and really contemplating how Black you wanted it to be. We went through the same thing with some of our marketing strategies. And I think it's terrible that we have to do that, right? That we have to second guess the target audience that we know we need the message to go to because of how others may perceive that. And I love that you did it anyway. That you stayed true to the target audience you're trying to reach. Because it's quite the dilemma.
We evolved though, definitely.
Yeah, same with us. I mean, we had a lot of conversations about, how Black do we want to be? Well, we want to be Blackity Black, but is that going to go over well? Will we alienate, because for what we're doing, we welcome everyone. We make no qualms about, we are highlighting the Black entrepreneur, right? That's our focus. We're educating investors. Black investors are the focus, but all investors are welcome. All entrepreneurs are welcome, but that's not who we're going to highlight. And how do you in good spirit help people to believe that you mean no harm? You don't want to exclude, but there is a purpose to what we're doing. And in order for us to stay true to the purpose, we have to talk to the right people. And so, it's unfortunate that as entrepreneurs, we have to have that conversation with ourselves. I doubt that people in other ethnicities are making that decision. I've gone to 1 million websites and it's been 10 clicks before I saw a Black face. So I know they're not having that dilemma because they're not, they're just doing it anyway. So I just love that you've evolved to that place where your target audience can feel exactly what you need them to feel so that they can tune in, stay tuned in, not get distracted, and know that this is absolutely for them. So I absolutely love that. So kudos to you.
Also, Tawana, the evolution became much easier because the more you peel the onion layers back, you see the dearth of services and options out there for Black people. There are none. All of the splashy headlines, the takeovers, the mergers, the partnerships, the VC funding, they're going to demographics, and those crumbs are not falling down to the people who need it the most. And so you have to lean in to what your purpose is and be unapologetic. And I find it to be not an unusual thing for a lot of entrepreneurs who work in mainstream workforce populations. So for us, it was a very natural progression because there just isn't anything speaking to our people, for our people, covering the foods that our people eat. You know, we had a friend come over, a personal friend who came over and talked about, he was diagnosed type 2 diabetes. His employer, big insurance company, had a coach call him, a health coach. And it sounds like it's a cliche, but her nutritional marching orders to him was kale and quinoa, literally. And he's Guyanese. He's like, I'm Guyanese. And so it's just a disconnect at the door. And that story is replayed over and over and over. And so forget about our people not feeling so comfortable in the doctor's office. If someone is telling you to stop eating what you've been eating for 40 years, Monday, that's just the end of that conversation.
Yeah.
It's over.
Especially when the rest of the house is eating that still, like that makes no sense. We do have a question from YouTube as well as a couple in here. So the one from YouTube is for you, Dale. Does the app store patient information, and is it HIPAA compliant?
Has to be HIPAA compliant. Yeah, and HIPAA compliance means a lot of things. It means the servers that you hold your technology on has to be a special kind of server. Your protocols have to be well researched, and the way you store and send and receive personal health information has to follow a certain protocol. So definitely HIPAA compliant. What was the other question?
Store.
Does it store patient information?
The phone does not. The phone connects to our cloud, which stores the information.
Next question is actually for Monique, and it's a two-part question that Chris has here. Are you involved in film projects that will teach and attract the urban America or the urban area within America?
Yes, definitely. And that is why someone like Dr. George C. Frazier is such an integral part of a lot of what we do, because he has so much information, and we're able to highlight him. Again, he's going to be part of the documentary. He will be talking about his story and share with us things that we would probably not hear in just regular conversations. A lot of people didn't even know who he was up until we introduced him on several platforms that we became a part of during the pandemic. So definitely. And I'm a reach back kind of person.
Part two of the person's question, Chris's question, is about inspiring Black youth, especially about entrepreneurship. And she's saying she's not being picky, she's just curious. So, but that's one of the things that, documentaries, sometimes people will think they're boring, so they're not going to get a younger audience. So what do you have to say with regards to that?
If you're doing a documentary and your target audience is not the youth or the family or a specific age group, you're only going to target that age group. I know for me, I grew up in the hip hop generation. I grew up, at a time where we fought for our voices. So I'm very sensitive to that. I know that there's this divide between, you have the baby boomers, you have the Gen Xers, you have the millennials, and you have the Gen Zs. And I feel like when you do any kind of documentary, you have to show all of those perspectives. You have to be able to speak to each and every one, because each generation needs something from the previous generation and the one that's coming after it. It's very, very important. So we can we target and reach everyone with every movie? Not necessarily. But if Marvel and DC and all these other companies can do that, then we can find a way to make sure that we're speaking to all of those age groups. It's really important, really, really important. And I think part of the reason why I've been nominated for so many awards is because I found a way through my writing to bring the family back together. And so even my stage plays, my cast was from age 5 up to 57, and that range, you're reaching a lot of people. So I'm cognizant of that. I'm really cognizant of that. So definitely.
Yeah. So we have a couple of other questions in here for Dale. Don is asking, is the app easy enough for my 79-year-old mother to use?
Yes, it had to be because our target demographic is type 2 diabetes, and typically people who are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes are diagnosed later on in life, 45-ish plus. And so when we were developing the technology, we had to make it so that our mothers could use it. So you have to be very careful with the design. The buttons have to be big enough. It can't be too complicated. It can't be too scary looking. And so we made it so that, we see older people playing Candy Crush on their smartphone. So if you can play Candy Crush, you can use our app.
I love it. Sandra's also saying, as an FYI, if you do business with health plans, they will want you to be high trust certified. So I'm sure you two know what that means.
Well, I like to comment on that. So
Okay.
This is a big deal. Right now, and this is one of our frustrations, which directed our business model. Right now, most of the chronic disease, diabetes in particular, options are delivered through employers via health insurance. The problem is most people don't use those chronic disease services through their health insurance. That's generally speaking. And when you account for Black people, the adoption rates are abysmal. So that's a whole different discussion about why the disconnect for a free service from your employer with insurance isn't being utilized. That's number one. Number two, a lot of Black people, half of my family, work for companies with no insurance. So we made a conscious effort to try to address a lot of those safety net buckets where our people end up being underserviced. So employers, plans, health plans, typically you have to jump through hoops, 3 years of IT, bureaucratic integration. And if you get a contract with the health plan, you'll see $1 5 years from now if you don't die on the way to that first $1. So we've made the decision to not try to put a square in that circle, but to go where our people are in the communities. And that's why our clients are not health plans, but our clients are churches who have made taking care of their congregation a priority. Our clients are independent pharmacies in the communities who want to do more than just write prescriptions. Our clients are FQHCs, health centers, health coaches. So we're a hyper-localized health solution. So we don't play in those employer health plan sandboxes.
Great clarification.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sorry, I was putting your email address in. We have 20 people watching on YouTube, so I want to say hello to everyone on YouTube. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, please. And also everybody in YouTube, Dale's email address, if you want to see the demo, closed demo, info@heiko.health. So I am putting that in the chat for
and
everyone.
if you fit in
here.
any of those buckets that Dale just talked about, right? If you are an independent pharmacy, if you have a health clinic, or if you're part of a community health clinic, if you are a church and you oversee, the member services that would include something like this also, reach out to Dale.
That's right.
Absolutely. This is a community effort here. And, Dale's success is not only dependent on money, but also on word of mouth getting out. So yes, absolutely. We are definitely going to invite all of you back here, as well as you're progressing with your projects as well, to give us updates. So Sandra's asking the magic question, Dale, if you're looking for investors.
Well, at this moment, we're not looking for investors because how can we say this? So typically, a startup founder is a under 30-year-old person sleeping on someone's couch, coding, creating, desperate for money. My wife and I, we're seasoned people of a certain age. So we've self-financed to date, and we probably have enough runway for another 2 to 3 years. And when we ask for money, it's going to be big money. So at the moment, we are okay. We're just continuing to get new clients, service clients, get people healthier. And, we'll have that discussion 3 years from now, maybe 2 years from now.
Perfect. I do want to say, though, there is a book called Super Founders by Ali Tamaseb. We're going to be doing book club on it during one of our sessions, one of our Monday sessions. And the average age of successful entrepreneurs that have billion-dollar exits is 41.9 years old when they found the company. Yes. So that doesn't mean if you're 22 that you're not going to be successful. It doesn't mean that if you're 62, you're not going to be successful, but there's some myths out there, and we're going to break them down based on this book. This data scientist put all of this information together, and it's actually quite interesting. So we don't want you to just, be dissuaded as well with regards to the people you're investing in. But all righty then. We have another question here from Monique from Chris. Chris and Monique, y'all going to have to get together and have these conversations. But what are your thoughts with regard to the direction of social media and film promoting material that basically hurts the Black community? I believe someone like you can change that.
So in terms of the content, meaning the types of movies that are out and what's advertised on social media, is that the question?
I think so. I think maybe there's an over promotion of, negativity, maybe Chris is saying.
Okay. What I have to say about that is this. There are filmmakers who they can write whatever script they want. It's easy for them to fund it because they may have some amazing street pharmacists that support what they're doing, if you know what I mean. And you can't fight against that. I don't want to name names. There are lots of people who started that way, where they had people who had money that just was not the right type of money, but it got them to where they wanted to be. And that's why projects like mine are so important, because I don't just do documentaries. I don't just do things that are educational. I do things that are entertainment also, but I'd rather you come to be educated and also leave entertained at the same time. So the reason why we're doing the movie as a documentary is because of the people that we have involved. We're going to talk about the talented and broke story of these people. The book is called Refuse to Live Talented and Broke. And we have someone like an Evander Holyfield. We have someone like a Mike Tyson. We have people who we want to find out, how do you make $300 million and within 5 to 10 years you are broke? So we're having this conversation with this journey to breaking this record. So we want the young people, and that's what's so important. We want young people to hear this. How do you go from having, like T-Pain, how do you go from having 40 million in the bank to having nothing? How does Evander Holyfield, same thing? And it's not just athletes. There are people who are not athletes that have done that. They've made wrong investment. They listened to the wrong people. maybe because in their family they never had any money, they didn't know what to do with it. Money is currency. It flows. It either flows to you because you're making the right decisions, or it flows away from you because you don't know what to do with it. But it's going to move. It doesn't stop. So when you invest in filmmakers who actually have stories to tell, whether it be even when we are being educated, we're still being entertained. There's our movie starts off with skydiving, and the reason why is because the author is going to be defeating and getting over a fear of heights. So we're starting off with a jump, so we're doing things that are entertaining, but we do have movie scripts. I have scripts in the queue that are for entertainment solely, but us in a good light. Not everyone, I think about the movie Dolomite and go back to Dolomite. Like, people don't even know, even though it could have been the worst movie made, it made 10 million in the 70s. 10 million.
It was a lot of money.
10 million in the 70s was a whole heck of a lot of money for an unknown, over 40, not that good of a comedian. If you think about it, whatever we support
Not Denzel
will do
Washington.
well. Whatever we support will do well.
Yeah.
Whatever we support will do well. And if you come about it, means that are harmful to the community, but you made the money, we can't stop that. But what we can do is not support it. What we can do is not support the things that are hurting our community under the name of entertainment, because we do that with music. The music sounds great, but what are the lyrics saying? Are the lyrics are they demeaning us as people, not just women, but men? Are they demeaning us using the N-word? So what we support will grow. Yeah. What we starve will die. So if we are going to put our money where our mouth is, then we don't have to have just negative images as an option. We celebrate Black Panther, but the proceeds don't go to us. $1.6 billion in 23 days. That doesn't go to us. And now we no longer have a Chadwick Boseman. So now everyone's jockeying for position to see who can be the next, King T'Challa, when our communities are filled with King T'Challas. They just don't know it. They just don't know it because we don't support it. We grow up, we're born with so much creativity, and our parents help to beat it out of us because of their circumstances. So I tell you, we're the most creative people on this earth, and that's why we're the most imitated. So yes, I can combat it to a degree. My mission and vision is not to save the world, it's to save those that have been assigned to me. And that each and every one of us have somebody assigned to us. We have a community, a village, a tribe assigned to us. And the thing about the young people, when it comes to those negative images, think about it. If a community does not embrace, or a village does not embrace its young people will burn the village down just to feel warm. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. You spoke a word there.
Yeah.
So with that, we are going to, look, we're going to call it Pastor Monique.
Tawnya, Cherie.
Yes.
Do you have any sound effects?
I do not.
You know?
Yeah.
We
Then
needed
you gotta get
some
some
now.
sound
Let the
effects.
But someone's going to have to freestyle for me. Someone's going to have to
church
freestyle. I have an announcement to make.
Okay.
Right.
So, we watch all of your Tuesday pitches.
Mhm.
And we were so motivated by one company, we're not going to name the name,
Okay.
but we were so motivated that with friends, colleagues, we were able to marshal up $25,000.
Wow. Hey.
And I believe we will get 50 when it's all said and done.
Wow.
Fantastic.
And I bring this up not to brag, but Monique said something that triggered me to say this when she said, you just gotta find the right people.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, man, there has to be, 100 or 1,000 of us as my little crew around America, whether you found them or not yet, they're there.
Mhm.
And so I wanted to share that with you. And then I wanted to and then I said, I wanted to make a commitment to myself to try to do that at least once a year, maybe twice a year.
Mhm.
And then there was another company that pitched, shall remain nameless, but again, myself and my friends were very inspired by what the person was doing. And I think we're going to try to replicate it for the second time this year with that person. So what does this all say? And we're not rich people, you understand? But I remember Tawnya being live where I think you read one of my comical responses. I said, I'm eating $100 worth of garbage right now. Meaning we have the money, we find the money to spend on things that we think are important. So we all have it in us. But I just wanted to share that with you. And I didn't think we were going to raise that money. Some of my friends, I didn't even know they had that kind of money.
Right.
So it was a surprise to all of us. But what you guys are doing, if people haven't told you, is beyond spectacular and beyond needed. I can't even describe it, but I want to say thank you to both of you guys. And like I've said to you before, Tawnya, anything that I can do, my family, me, my wife, my friends, to help you guys succeed, which means us succeeding, which means Monique succeeding. We're all in this together. So thanks.
Well, we appreciate
Very
it.
welcome.
Tawnya works so hard to find these entrepreneurs, to make sure they're prepared, to bring them in front of everybody. So everybody put a 4 in the chat as a thanks for Tawnya. She really works hard. Sometimes she'll come to me and say, I talked to somebody and they weren't right for 10K. And I say, then let them go, because we have so much excellence.
We have set the standard. We really have. We set the bar maybe a little too high.
Yes, but you know what? Tawnya hits it out the park. And when I tell you all, like, I don't even know, except for an email address, who the entrepreneurs are. I come in on Tuesday and I'm as surprised as you all are. And, I really appreciate Dale for saying that. I have spoken to some people who have some dollars as well. I know that some of the things I need to do is provide maybe after they've done their pitch, a little 1-pager for them and, stuff like that. So I will say this, we need more hands on deck. We need more team members.
We've got so many ideas, but while
things we can do. Yes.
We can talk about that a little bit. So I handle the Bet on Black pitch part of it, and Cherie does everything else, right?
I do. Because the bobs are so important.
And so, if we had 2 more people, even two more hands, right? It doesn't have to be 2 more people, just 1 more person. We could get so much done because we have amazing ideas for what we want to do with 10K, and we know it's possible, but we've got to pace ourselves because it's just us, right? So we manage what we can do. We want to do what we do well, right? We don't want to overextend ourselves and start getting messy and sloppy, because then people start talking crap about us, right? And then you can't come back from that, because we just talked about how unforgiving we are, right? So we're just trying to keep it simple and focused for now. But we know more staff members will come, right? That will come. That'll be in our future. When these founders come and they're raising, $100,000 overnight, this thing is gonna get to where it needs to be. We just have to pace ourselves. And I have to remember also, it's still new. We started our first pitch the first Tuesday in March. Seems like a long time, but it's really not that long that we've been doing it. Not even a year since we did the pitches. And we were doing the education and all of that stuff before, but the pitches have really turned into the big deal around here, right? And we've only been doing it since March. So by next March, I think we're going to be in a very different place. The founders are so appreciative. I mean, I have founders that have pitched with us calling me, trying to give me tips on things we can do to build membership, and they're sending us their connections for vendors to help. So they're invested. It's not a one and done for them, right? They are staying in contact to try to make us better because they know the value. If we didn't do a great thing for their campaign, and I don't always have the dollar for dollar amount on what we did for their campaign because it's so hard to track it, right? That's something we're working on from a tech standpoint, is how do we track how many eyes we've sent to these campaigns and how much they've raised from 10K. All the portals are different. Some of them you could leave comments and say, I heard about you from the 10K project, but there's no foolproof way right now to really determine how much money we brought to the campaign. So I trust the founders, right? When they're staying in connection with us and they're reaching back and saying, you guys are awesome, they can see everything happening. They know what's on their road show, right? So they know if this is the only place they've been versus they've been 5 places. We don't necessarily know that. So it's hard for me to claim some of their success, right? So I wake up Wednesday morning and that's usually my big indicator of, okay, this was a good day for them. And I watch it through the week. And I typically take credit for everything they get through Friday because I'm watching the campaign. But I don't know what else they've done, right? So some of that credit I'm taking is not necessarily, probably right. But when they reach back and they send me a contact or out of the blue, they check on me, I know that we made an impact on them. And that's huge. And that's the community. That's not me. That's not Cherie. That's you guys, right? That's why we wanted to highlight you, because you guys are the heartbeat of this. You absolutely are.
Tawnya, can I say something? That's the one thing I love about being in this industry. When I do a movie, I can product place different members. I can go on location. I can have your logo. Like, I can do these things in a movie, and now you have the audience supporting it. And now they see your pharmacy, they see your product, they see whatever it is that you're selling, they see your service, they see, and that's what I love. We can become visible and visible to our people who need our services. Like, I didn't know that there was a vegan soul food restaurant that we could shoot at, so when I'm looking for locations, I'm looking for locations that are owned by us. When I'm looking for product placement, now We Buy Black, we have soap, we have detergent, we have all these different things. So that is how we're able to not only showcase the different products that we have, the services that we have, but it's a way for us to also benefit from it. There is an ROI. So that's why I say, I look at some movies and I'm like, how in the world did they get funded? How did they get funded? It's because they're dealing with people who this is money that is just kind of throwaway money. Whereas we work really hard, not saying they don't work hard, but we work really hard for what we have. And that's the beauty of doing a movie, that I can show all of these different services and businesses. I have about 10 movies under my belt, all self-financed. And then I have over 150 live productions off Broadway, all self-financed. And so I learned by also working with you ladies and working with other people that I don't have to do it all. I can let the community come in because they're paying to go see movies anyway, and then come out shaking their head because they heard the N-word or they heard something that just made them feel like, wow, couldn't they have done better? Couldn't they have? And we asked that question. And I was in a conversation with Ava DuVernay, and we were on one of the audio apps, and we had such a great conversation. She talks about it. She started when she was 32. She picked up a camera at 32, and look what she's doing. But she wanted to tap into Hollywood, but she made sure that she had the right backing. And so for me, the segue that I made with this project was that I wanted to show the history that we missed in school, the lessons that we missed in school, the 2 areas where we fail the most, relationship and finances. And I wanted to show through this book, Refuse to Live Talented and Broke, that not only can we use it to break a record, but show the journey of all the people who had those hardships because they didn't have a good relationship with finances. Will I be funded like overnight? Possible. Never know. But will people who say, you know what, that's the right thing to do? Those are the people I'm looking for. That's the right thing to do. Show us in a positive light. And that's why I love what you said, because all of our communities are filled with amazing people. They are entrepreneurs. A lot of them are entrepreneurs. They don't really have the credentials. They don't have, the Duns and Bradstreet. They don't have that information, but they can get it.
They have a lot of heart. And with that, final announcements, and we're going to wrap up for the evening. We thank you so much for hanging out longer with us. Don't forget, if you are not a member, you can be a member. The10kproject.com. You can come check out the website. I want to thank everybody who has agreed to do testimonials. I put the call out and have more people on my calendar than, I'm so grateful, because one of the things that people need to see is more people like you saying, yes, I've been to the 10K Project. I've been to the Bet on Black pitches. This is legit, etc. So I want to thank everybody who is on my calendar for the next 2 weeks to give us those testimonials. September 13th is Family and Friend Day. Next week, Tawnya and I will be ready to break down some of the pre-games and prizes, and it's going to be lit. And then on September 20th is the next member highlight day. We want to highlight 2 members. So if you have a project that you're doing, you don't have to be raising capital. It could be for a nonprofit. It could be something you're super passionate about that you think people should know about. Info@the10kproject.com. Tell me what you would like to talk about during member highlight, and we're going to actually showcase 2 people. The final thing is I want to thank Rayma for agreeing to give us some extra hands. And if you are able to give us a couple of extra hands as well, info@the10kproject.com. I am going to reach out to you. We have a couple of things that we think are low-hanging fruit that we think will add a lot to the organization. So, Tawnya,
I'll just say, you don't want to miss tomorrow's pitch. It is a spirits company, and
with tech.
Woman founded. So 2 women co-founded. So we've highlighted a lot of men, but now we're bringing the ladies tomorrow.
Isn't there a tech play to this one too?
Who could it be? Could it be this one? Could it be that one? You'll see tomorrow.
Isn't there a bit of a tech play to it too?
It does have a bit of a tech play to it as well.
Yeah.
Little AI, they do really cool stuff.
Yes. And it was a referral. It was a referral company to us. So the word is getting out. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. Again, if you're on YouTube, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel so we can grow our numbers even more. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. for the Bet on Black pitch.
Good night.
Have a good evening.